Feminine energy and femininity are not the same, and confusing them is the reason so many women feel burnt out, insecure, or like they are never enough. Feminine energy isn't about long lashes, perfect smiles, or soft dresses. It's not a look you perform, it's the way you live, connect, and carry yourself, even on the days you don't feel put together. In this video, I'm going to show you the real difference between feminine energy and femininity, how that shift changed my confidence and relationships, and the simple daily practices you too can start today to feel magnetic, grounded, and at home in your own skin. If you've ever tried to look the part and still felt unseen, this conversation may just set you free. If this already resonates, a quick like helps this message to reach more women who need it. I used to think I had to look a certain way to feel feminine, softer voice, longer lashes, dresses that looked gentle, even when I didn't feel that way inside. People would say, "You'll be more feminine if you smiled," so I smiled, like it was a performance, but inside, I felt empty. One night, I took off my makeup and stared at my bare face in the mirror. No mascara to lift the corners of my eyes, no gloss to catch the light, just me. There was a quiet hum in the room, the kind of silence that feels like truth clearing its throat. A sentence rose up in me like a tide. This isn't about how I look, it's about how I live. I remember resting my palms on the sink, feeling the cool proclaim, and noticing how light my face felt without the mask. Had I been performing myself instead of being myself? Maybe you felt that too, carrying the weight of what good, pretty feminine should look like and realizing it never touched the places that actually hurt. It started with small things people said, the casual rules that sound innocent and land like chains. Talk like this, walk like that, nice girls don't say no. I treated these like instructions on how to be loved. I thought if I followed them closely enough, I would finally be seen. But those rules didn't make me shine, they just made me shrink. The wake-up call arrived in a quiet way. I went on a date I thought would be perfect. I wore my favorite dress, crossed my leg the right way, sat with good posture, and smiled when I was supposed to. The conversation hovered on the surface like a leaf that refused to sink. He talked about his job, his plans, and at one point he said, "I like girls who are feminine, not too opinionated." I smiled, the practiced kind, and felt a small sharp ache in my chest. There I was, the picture of what I thought femininity looked like, and I had never felt less visible. That night, walking home, the air was cool and honest. My heels clicked against the pavement, and with each step, I felt a truth unfolding. Feminine energy isn't about how you look, it's about how you live. It's the quality of your presence, the way you listen to yourself, the way you allow life to move through you without pretending, the way you let go of control without losing your power. And yes, men can have feminine energy too. It's not tied to gender. It's a way of being attuned, receptive, steady, and quietly strong. A week later, I went to a small gathering, wearing an old hoodie and jeans, no makeup, no effort. I wasn't even trying to be anything. I was simply there. A woman I just met leaned in and said, "You feel so calm. Being near you makes me breathe easier." Her words landed deeper than any compliment on beauty ever had. That night, I wrote a note to myself on a sticky pad I keep on my nightstand. Presence over polish. It became my first reminder, not because polish is bad. I love a soft dress and good perfume, but because polish without presence is a costume, and presence without polish is still magnetic. Before I show you how I started practicing this, I want to ask you something, because your answer matters to this conversation. When have you felt the most magnetic? When you looked perfect or when you were fully present? Tell me in the comments. Your story might just help another woman breathe easier. Here is where the shift began for me. One evening after a long day, I stood at the sink, washing dishes, warm water over the tired hands, the kind of quiet that makes you realize how noisy your mind has been. I placed my arm over my heart, took 4 slow breaths, and whispered to myself, I'm allowed to receive. That sentence felt almost rebellious. Receiving didn't mean waiting for someone to rescue me. It meant letting in what was already here. Rest, support, intuition, gentleness. It meant unclenching my grip on control so life could meet me halfway. We've been taught that doing more is always the answer, but the deeper I went, the more I noticed that true feminine energy often attracts by doing less, not more. Not from laziness, from alignment, from nervous system that feels safe even to stop performing and start relating. After a heartbreak that unspooled me, I began walking by the ocean in the evenings. The air was cool, the light soft and forgiving. I'd watch the tide move in and out, steady, faithful, unhurried. The water didn't perform, it didn't chase, it never pleaded for the shore. It simply returned again and again, on time, in rhythm. I realized healing wasn't about becoming prettier or more womanly. It was about finding my rhythm again. On a damp, windy night, with the salt brushing my lips, I wrote a second reminder in my phone notes, and it says, surrender is wise strength. Surrender isn't collapse. It's not giving up. It's the inner posture that says, I trust life enough to stop forcing. It's the strength that doesn't announce itself, wisdom that doesn't need applause. The ocean taught me that water can be a gentle caress or a craving force. Feminine energy can be soft or direct. It doesn't disappear when it's quiet. Sometimes that's when it's the most powerful. I also started practicing presence in conversations. This is where it got real. I paused before answering. I let silence be a bridge, not a threat. I noticed how often I rushed to fill the gap, how quickly I laughed to keep everyone comfortable, how easily I said yes when my body meant no. The first boundary I set sounded too simple. No, that doesn't work for me. My hands trembled. My heart knocked at my ribs like it wanted to leave. But beneath the nerves, there was a new grounded calm, a steadiness that came from telling the truth. I learned something that day. Boundaries aren't walls, they are doors. Doors you choose when to open, how far, and to whom. If this is speaking to you so far, tap the like button so it reaches other women who need it. And tell me in the comments, what rule about being feminine are you ready to let go of? The rule that says be small? The rule that says don't be too much? Your answer might be the permission someone's been waiting for. A mentor once told me something that finally clicked. Magnetism is your nervous system telling the truth. When you are regulated and honest with yourself, you don't have to push for connection. You become a safe place where connection wants to land. That's the heart of presence over polish. Before you walk into a room, feel your feet on the floor, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, take one slow breath in, one slow breath out, and ask, what do I need to feel safe right now? Maybe it's a sip of water. Maybe it's to stand near the door. Maybe it's to speak slowly. Simple does not mean small. Simple is powerful when it's embodied. And there's a third reminder I lean on, the one I use on my hardest days. But I want to show you how I found it before I name it. Consider this your gentle loop to stay with me. It's the piece that helped my voice change from a performance to a presence. There was a conversation I dreaded having, the kind that knots your stomach and steals your appetite. I rehearsed responses in my head until they started hurting. That morning, I decided to do it differently. I poured a glass of water and held it with both hands. The glass was cool, grounded, real. I took a slow sip and felt the water arrive in my body. I stretched my neck, rolled my shoulders back, and reminded myself, I don't have to be understood to be okay. Right before I spoke, I put my hand on my chest and read the words I'd written on a small paper folded in my pocket. Love me first, then speak. Not love me only, not love me instead. Love me first, and then speak. It changed everything. My voice didn't come out sugary or sharp. It came out clean. I stated what I needed. I stayed with myself. Respect followed, not because I looked feminine, but because I respected myself first. That's the third reminder. It's the one that steadies me when life gets loud. Feminine energy, I've learned, is about attunement. Sometimes it's soft, like letting someone you trust hold you when you're tired. Sometimes it's direct, like saying no without a paragraph of apologies. It's not a costume, it's a current, like water. It can flow gently or carve through rocks. It's not here to impress, it's here to express what's true. When I started living this way, my relationships shifted. People who only liked the performance drifted away. At first, that felt like a loss. Then I realized it was alignment. The people who valued depth stayed close. Conversations got slower and kinder. My body felt safer. I stopped asking, how can I get them to choose me? And I started asking, is this safe for my nervous system? Is this relationship a place where truth can live? I stopped chasing attention and started choosing safety. The kind of safety that lets the connection last. This shift wasn't dramatic or glamorous. It didn't happen in a single sunrise. It was made of small daily choices that look ordinary and feel like coming home. I cooked for myself, not to be impressive, but to be nourished. I turned off my phone when my mind buzzed with other people's lives. I journaled in simple sentences about what my body needed that day. More water, a walk, fewer screens, a good cry. I rested without guilt, which may be the most radical thing I've ever done. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust. Now, I see the mirror differently. I don't ask, do I look feminine enough? I ask, am I with myself? Am I here in this body, in this breath, in this moment? If the answer is yes, I inevitably feel more beautiful, even with messy hair and yesterday's hoodie. Presence has a way of softening your face and brightening your eyes. You look like someone safe to yourself first and then to other people. I see feminine energy in women of all styles, surgeons in sneakers, florists with rough hands, teachers with chalk dust on their sleeves, lawyers with bold lipstick and bigger laughter, mothers with ponytail and quiet eyes, artists in paint-stained jeans, grandmothers with soft sweaters and fierce hearts. Feminine energy is the current beneath it all, intuitive, grounded, creative, generous. It's the way you hold your own hand through a hard day. It's the way you listen to your body's no. It's the way you let love find you without begging it to stay. If you're still here, if something in this has been loosened inside you, I think you already know the truth. You don't need to look a certain way to carry feminine energy. You've had it all along. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were before the rules told you to leave yourself. Let's return to the 3 reminders I live by. They are simple, but they are not small. Number 1, presence over polish. When you're unsure, choosing being here over looking perfect. Feel your feet, drop your shoulders, breathe. Ask yourself, what do I need to feel safe right now? Meet that need and go from there. Number 2, surrender is wise strength. Stop forcing doors that don't open. Trust the rhythm that return. Let your worth be steady, not negotiated. You are not behind. You are in a season, not a sentence. And number 3, love me first, then speak. Before the text, the call, the conversation, love yourself first. Drink water, unclench your jaw, put a hand on your heart and remind your body that you are safe from there. Your voice will carry the truth without breaking you. Tonight, if you want a simple ritual, Try this with me. Stand in front of a mirror, touch your heart, breathe until your shoulders drop, then ask, what is one small thing I can do to feel cared for right now? Maybe it's a glass of water, maybe it's going to bed early, maybe it's writing one honest page. Do it. That is feminine energy in action. I started with a forced smile. Now I have a real one. Not because life is perfect, but because my energy is finally mine. If this message helped you, share your story in the comments. Tell me which reminder you're taking with you this week. Subscribe for more honest talks about feminine energy, quiet self-growth, and emotional healing. And send this to a friend who's tired of pretending, so she too can remember who she has always been. I remain yours truly, Amara.